The old clock always showed the wrong time, 3:07 a.m. If you touched the hands, you saw what happened at 3:07 a.m.
Welcome! Today we are practicing our reading, past tenses, and suspense with a mysterious story. The clock that stopped time. This is perfect for your A2 B1 English level. Elias was a quiet historian. He lived in a comfortable but very old house in the city center. Elias loved antique things, especially clocks. One summer, Elias visited a small, dusty shop that was closing forever. He found a tall, wooden grandfather clock standing in a dark corner. It had a heavy brass pendulum and dark, beautiful wood. The shop owner was selling it for a very low price. "The clock is beautiful," the owner said, "but it is broken. It always shows 3:07 in the morning." Elias smiled. He bought the clock and took it to his house. He spent the next 3 days cleaning and repairing the mechanism. The clock was complex, but Elias was patient. Finally, he fixed the gears and the spring. He set the time to the correct hour. Elias was happy. He hung the pendulum, listened for the sound, and went to bed. The next morning, Elias woke up. He looked at the clock. The hands had stopped again. The time was 3:07 a.m. He tried again. He wound the clock perfectly. He watched it for an hour. It worked. He left the room. When he came back, the time was 3:07 a.m. Elias was frustrated. He looked closely at the brass hands. He touched the minute hand with his finger. Suddenly, Elias felt very cold. The room was spinning. He was standing in the same spot, but the house was different. The walls were not clean. The furniture was broken. A lamp was lying on the floor. Elias was looking through the eyes of a different person. He was seeing a tall man and a woman arguing loudly. The woman was crying. The tall man grabbed a heavy book from the shelf. He raised his arm. Elias saw the clock in the corner. The hands showed 3:06 a.m. Then the vision stopped. Elias was back in his quiet living room. He was breathing heavily. The clock hands showed 3:07 a.m. Elias realized what the clock was doing. It was showing him the moment of a past tragedy. He researched the history of the shop and the clock. He found an old newspaper report from 70 years ago. The report described a fight in that very house where the clock was made. A historian and his wife were arguing about a secret. At 3:07 a.m., the fight ended tragically. Elias did not want to see the full event. He decided to move the clock to the attic. But curiosity was stronger than fear. Elias went to the clock in the attic. He knew he had to see the final moment. He put his finger on the hand. The vision came back. The man was standing over the woman. The clock showed 3:07 a.m. The man looked at the clock, then looked down at the woman on the floor. He whispered, "Now, time stops here." Suddenly, the man looked up, directly at Elias. He saw Elias in the reflection of the brass pendulum. The man smiled, a terrible, sad smile. He walked towards the clock. Elias pulled his hand back, screaming. The attic was normal. The clock showed 3:07 a.m. Elias ran downstairs. He never went back to the attic. He knew the historian was still there, waiting in time. And the next time, the historian might not just smile. Thank you for joining us for The Clock That Stopped Time. This mysterious story helped us practice using the past tenses to build suspense and narrative. Here are some new words we learned today. Historian, Antique. Pendulum. Gears. Wound. Arguing. Tragically. Attic. Today we focused on the past simple and the past continuous to tell a story. Past simple. Main events. Elias bought the clock. The man looked at the clock. Past continuous. Setting the scene or ongoing action. The clock was closing. The woman was crying. Try to describe something strange you saw yesterday, using the past continuous to set the background and the past simple for the sudden action. If you want more chilling stories and lessons for A2 B1 English, please like this video, subscribe to our channel, and share it with a friend. We'll see you next time for another story. And remember, never trust a clock that doesn't tick. Bye.